Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Today I have the pleasure of Mr. M R Venkatesh's company, and we are going to talk about the goings on at the Board of Control for Cricket in India. I don't know why they came up with this Board of Control for Cricket in India. Sounds so British, but be that as it may, for the last few years, I have stopped taking the matches seriously, looking at the nail-biting finishes. Seems like the sport has become more of a spectacle now. This is my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Don't take it otherwise. There are some of you who really are diehard fans of this game, of cricket. But that is my stand on it. But the last few days, the happenings have been interesting, to say nothing, to say the least. Interesting to say the least. So, MRV, welcome to PGurus channel.
Yeah, nice meeting and talking to you, Mr. Iyer.
So I'll just play the thing back to you in terms of we're going to cover two things, by the way, about cricket. One is the fact that India did so poorly in the semifinals, and it didn't help that the game was split over 2 days, and England being England, weather conditions being what they are, the vagaries didn't work for India. Evidently, India was going in as a favorite and they lost. So the bookies made a killing if they had bet that India was going to lose. Now, this brings me some disturbing similarities with what happened in the 2017 Champions League final, where India won the toss on a road front and elected to field with disastrous consequences again. And when the captain was asked by the coach as to why he chose to field after winning the toss, the coach got fired. I'm talking about Anil Kumble. Okay, so that is when I decided that this game has become more of a spectacle than a sport. So after that, let's fast forward to the present. A lot of things have been happening. What do you make of it? I will tell you what are the things I have seen that are interesting. Please go ahead.
See, this BCCI has been a den for a set of mafia for too long, and there is a politico bookie mafia underworld cricketer nexus that's called BCCI.
Sir, why don't you add actors also, actors and actresses too?
No, they are just the glamour quotient. They are not actually the big players. They are only they just lend their face or their glamour side. But the real hardcore things are people who are the political guys who are having links with the mafia, industrialists, big industrialists. So it is no more a sport, Mr. Iyer. It is everything but a sport. And what you have in America is your WWF wrestling championships, where one guy goes on thrashing the other, and everybody watches it as if it is all true. At the end of the day, everybody knows that nothing is true, and goes away. So I think most of the audience in the gallery sitting there and watching this game know for a fact that this is a rigged casino, and they know for a fact that this is all tamasha, and they also know that it's all fixed, but they enjoy it for a simple reason: there is no other avenue to go and let yourself free. And that's where it is, everything is live on TV. You don't have to really step out of your home. Everything is there in your 5, 10 rupees, 15 rupees channel per month. You just have to pay the pay-per-view, and then you have fun. So my personal feeling is nobody takes this game seriously. Nobody takes it as if it is being played with some patriotism or a sense of dignity, personal dignity. Everybody is a party to a grand machination, and everybody knows that they have to perform the charade, and if they don't perform the charade, like Kumble, they will be flushed down the drain. So everybody knows it. Either you are party to this nonsense or you have to school your heels. So whether it is Supreme Court appointed monitoring committee consisting of some Rais and others, or whether it is run by the old school of ex-cricketers and administrators, so-called cricket administrators, cricket in India is a rigged casino, period, full stop.
Well, it's not just India, right? I mean, this seems like it is now spreading across to other countries also where India is involved. I'm not sure that this ends with India. I think that other countries also are sort of being used for the same thing, because it takes two hands to clap, right?
See, India is probably 70% of ICC now, in more ways than one. Two-thirds of ICC would be India. And if you add India's clout with, say, a country like Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, West Indies, Bangladesh, I think we are 80-85% totally. So the one good thing about it is that the white man's dominance in this game is all over. So the yesteryear's dominance of Australia and England, insofar as it pertains to dominating the cricket administration, is over. But the sad part of it is it's no longer a game. It's absolutely ridiculous the way people are behaving, the way outcomes of the matches are being foretold in social media, and people guess it out. The scores are even made out. And also you add it with the dash of IPL, which also gives you a very good training for all these things. You know, the betting training is done very well during the IPL season. So all these things put together, I think, as you very rightly said, it's no more a gentleman's game, it's a mafia's game.
Well, IPL, people sort of knew that it had become a rigged thing, I think from 2013 onwards itself. But to be able to go and do this thing in other venues sort of makes it a little bit worse. Because, see, there are websites that are legal in United Kingdom that are also taking bets on these games, like bet365.com, and there's a few other. Now, where do you think they stand? I mean, do you think they know the insights and then they correct the odds accordingly?
See, if somebody is going to that extent of putting on bets, and I'm sure he's not doing it as a punter. And once punters come in, definitely they will like to rig the game to such an extent that the game is rigged in their favor. I don't want to take a pure bet on saying whether Kohli will hit a century tomorrow or not. I would like to take a bet on a performance of a particular player. Only I am cocksure that that particular player will play according to the bets, or I will tailor my bets according to what I have as an inside information. Now, it is not a simple case of, some idiots in India come about and say, oh, let us legalize betting, things will get sorted out. Do they realize there is a difference between rigging and match fixing? These idiots do not even understand that you don't even fix matches, you are fixing the coach. The coach of the game is being fixed. And Supreme Court, in all its innocence, doesn't have the guts to go and ask why does it happen? Why was Anil Kumble removed?
Well, the Supreme Court has started. Go ahead.
And these guys come and pontificate to us on what should be, the solution to this match fixing is legalize punting. How on earth can legalize punting solve match fixing? I don't know.
Well, there is an envelope on the desks of the Supreme Court justices from, I think, 2013, where there was a list of, I think, 15 players or 15 players or 13 players. It doesn't matter. It's over 10. That much I know for sure. And that list has not been opened and revealed as to who all were involved in match fixing and betting in 2013 season, the season when Rajasthan Royals flushed out 3 players. One of them was Srisanth, and then a couple of other people, and so on and so forth. And except for that guy, everybody else sort of, well, the 3 players got. But anyway, this is all like the kimono gets opened once in a while when some honest official breaks the spills the bean, and then some dressing is done. Some chota mota guys are caught and then punished, and then the thing completely closes up again. It's back to game time again.
Now, 2 issues. Forget Supreme Court opening this cover. There are several covers, envelopes in the table of the Supreme Court. And if the Supreme Court opens that, there will be nuclear radiation on several institutions, including Supreme Court itself. Prashant Bhushan and others have submitted an envelope stating that following chief justices and judges are corrupt. And that envelope has also not been opened. So better they don't open any much of these envelopes, because it will create nuclear radiation. And as you said, the Sanskrit sloka goes that Ashram Naiva, Gajam Naiva, Vyakaram Naiva Cha Naiva Cha Ajaya Putram Balim Dattvam Devatam Durlabham Hashyam. Meaning, you don't slay the horse, you don't slay the elephant. You don't slay the tiger. Vagram naivacha naivacha. Double emphasis. Ajahaputram balim dattvam. The baby lamb is slaughtered and everybody is happy after that. And that is why we say secretary naivacha, additional secretary naivacha, deputy secretary naivacha naivacha. UDC balim dattvam. Government durlabam hashyam. No, UDC or LDC clerk is finally punished. So this is the system that we have created. That finally one fellow who has dropped this envelope into the Supreme Court judge's table will be the person who will be made a fall guy, and that will be the guy who will be punished.
Well, we are not going to ask Mr. Modi to watch this video, but we are going to ask Mr. Vinod Rai to watch this video, because everything can't be Modi's fault. Maybe this is Vinod Rai to take a look at on what is going on. But
no, again we make a fundamental difference. We make a fundamental difference. We lack to make a fundamental difference is between honesty and competency. Honesty is one thing, a definite virtue and a needed virtue. But all honest people cannot be competent in every field. Let us be very clear about it. The malice in cricket is far too deeper for somebody like Mr. Vinod Rai to even comprehend.
How true, how true. Now, see, I think, these things have a way of dying naturally, in the sense that once people start losing interest, already test matches nobody likes to watch. And I guess ODIs also are not drawing much crowds. Maybe T20s are getting a little bit of crowds. I saw that the last couple of seasons, even IPL games were not getting full crowds. So the writing is on the wall. I mean, this golden goose has stopped laying eggs. And I don't know when the last few romanticists of this game are going to sit up and realize, oh my God, there's nothing left to watch now.
Could be it's a rebalancing that's happening within the system, and probably the interest of the crowd will start waning if they start suspecting every single match and every single ball that is being bowled. You know, that type of questions are being raised as to who is instigating that type of actions of the players. And if this trend goes on, probably, as you say, the only thing that may survive is the T20 cricket. And incidentally, in a day or two, India is going to play the West Indies in Florida. And the attempt is to bring the game to the North American continent and try to popularize it as a version of baseball. And I hope some sane elements see that that's a magnificent game, a game which is both a combination of muscle and brain, a game that is has several imponderables that goes on, that's psychological also at once. But what we are reducing is a game of a slam bang game, and probably trying to infect it with a heavy dash of commercial interest, which is what is spoiling its the commercial success of cricket, its own graveyard, digging its own graveyard. That's the truth of the matter.
Absolutely. And the last time the game was played in Florida, the same park that it's being played this time also, there two T20s were played, and the crowds were modest at best. And let's see how it plays out this time. But certainly it is, giving a really bad feeling in my mouth for, just even spending 5 minutes to look at the thing. I've stopped watching it live. That stopped a long time ago. But even looking at ESPN Cricket 4, one of those websites for ball by ball also is becoming more and more like, even when something spectacularly right happens, you still wonder, maybe the other team is throwing the match. And when something spectacularly goes wrong, then okay, sure, this is, India is throwing the match. So between the two, it's just become more of a spectacle. And then the really interesting thing, the president of BCCI is going to talk to the feuding vice captain and captain. Both of them were in India up until like a day ago. He doesn't pick up the phone and talk to them. He doesn't meet them in person, but he's going to come to US and chat with them. One wonders why the coach and the manager of the team are there. What were they doing when the fight was going on? Were they taking sides too? So this has become really ludicrous. It's not even ridiculous. It's ludicrous the way these things are being played out. I'm just looking for a comment from you.
What to comment, Mr. Iyer? This is, I don't want to dignify it with a comment, but the fact of the matter is, somebody wants a jolly jaunt to America in business class, so he's taking. So be it. That's all I can say.
Of course, and the hopefully the family also doesn't go along just to play peacemaker. But with BCCI, with BCCI, you can expect anything. So thank you very much, MRV, and we always have fun when we are talking with you. And thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us.